One of the things I love most about barbecuing is coming up with some new recipes, ideas. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But I've had this one rolling around in my head for about 2 weeks now. We're going to give this a shot. So we're going to start off with some pork spare ribs. Got a pretty good deal on these. Not great, but pretty good. We got some apples, Sweet Baby Ray's hickory and brown sugar barbecue sauce, some dark brown cane sugar, Far Out Foods smoked apple butter rub. Stuff is amazing. We're going to use a little apple juice and some cinnamon. Let's see what we can do with this. All right, so to get us started, we're going to use a little apple juice as a binder on these ribs. We washed them off, patted them dry. We just cover them with some apple juice. And then we're just going to go ahead and use a little bit of Far Out Foods smoked apple butter rub. Stuff is so good. It's not overpowering, so don't be afraid to use it. Get a good coating on there. Oh, this stuff has an amazing flavor to it. Make sure that gets rubbed in real well. Now that that's done, we're going to get this on the grill. Quick shout out to Country Daddy Barbecue. If you're not following Country Daddy on Twitter, you're missing out. Great follow. We got the Austin XL up to 225 degrees. So we're going to get these ribs on. They're going to be on here about 3 hours. The ribs are on. We're going to spritz these with some apple juice. After an hour, about every half hour. 3 hours should get us to 165 internal temp. And we'll take it from there. I just took the temperature on those ribs. They're just about where I want them, right about the 3 hour mark now. So as we're waiting for that to finish up, we've mixed up some brown sugar and some cinnamon. We cut up some apples. We're going to put the apples in the brown sugar and cinnamon. Try not to get too carried away with the cinnamon because it does have a very strong flavor. It will overpower things. So once we get these in here, we are just going to mix them up in the brown sugar and the cinnamon. Get those coated really well. Oh, smells good. And that should work with that right there. So now, we're going to take this pan. We cut up some onions, not a bunch, but some onions. I'm going to put those in the pan. Sweet Baby Ray's hickory and brown sugar. Put a good healthy amount in this pan. That's going to work. We'll leave this upside down because we do want a little more of this. It's almost out. So with this onions and the sauce, we're just going to mix that up together. Make sure we get a good coating on the bottom of the pan. It's nice and thick. Now that we've mixed this all together, we've been spritzing those ribs with some apple juice every half hour or so. We're going to take what's left of this apple juice. I'm not sure we'll use all of it. I don't want this too thin. Put that in there. Yeah, that should be about right, I think. See if we can get a little bit more Baby Ray's in here. So yeah, now we've got about the consistency we're looking for here. Again, we want to make sure this bottom of this pan is completely covered. Our ribs have been on just a little over 3 hours now, 225. keeping them moist with some apple juice. These were smoked with some hickory oak pellets. So we're about 165 on the temp. Yeah, it's getting a little floppy, that's good. We're gonna pull this off and get finishing up. So we got our ribs off the smoker. Let them cool for just a second. They're still pretty warm. So we're gonna take and slice these ribs up. Pretty simple. Get them in that sauce. Oh, they're nice and meaty, I'll give them that. Those are still a little bit warm. All right. Got some nice smoke going on there, smoke rings on the ribs. We're gonna get these in here. Now we're gonna just mix this all up, get these ribs coated with that beautiful sauce. Oh, it smells delicious. Now that we've got that all mixed up, we're going to stand these up on end. This is the part I was envisioning. We'll see how it works. Might be a little tight for this pan, a little tighter than I wanted. Trying to leave a little space in between these ribs. So with that done, now we're going to take these apples that we seasoned up and put them in between these ribs as much as we can. Try to get them wedged in between. Thus the reason we were looking for some space. And so far so good. Maybe enough. Try to get those just wedged in there nicely. With what's left, we're just going to put it over the top. Pour the sauce that was left back in. And see if we can get just a little bit more Baby Ray's out of this bottle. Go. So the next step, guys, we're going to take some aluminum foil, tent this nice and tightly, get it back on the smoker. I'm thinking another 3 hours. We've got the ribs with all the fixings inside tented up here, sealed it as tightly as we possibly could. Actually used 2 layers of tin foil, got that nice and sealed up inside. I want that to bubble. We'll be back to see how this turns out, guys. We've had our ribs tented under the foil for about 3 hours now. We just cranked the temperature to 350. We are going to add our cornbread. Once that gets up to temp, that'll start cooking. So we're going to go ahead and pull this pan off now. Let this sit while the cornbread finishes up. We've got the cornbread off the smoker. We've loosened all the slices around on the sides. We're going to cover this with a little bit of honey butter. Just some butter mixed with some honey. Melted it down. With that loosened up on the sides, it all drips down inside, becomes very, very tasty. So we're going to get a look at these ribs, see how we did. All right, so our ribs have been sitting in this pan covered here with this cutting board for about 25-30 minutes now. Since I've never done this, I don't know what to expect here. I'm hoping that there's still some juice in the bottom of this pan. So what we're going to do is we're going to attempt to turn this over, let that juice run down, cover everything really great. pull it back over. You're seeing it for the first time just like I am, guys. We'll keep our fingers crossed. Oh, feels like there's some juice in there. Well, that didn't go as bad as I thought it might. All right, let's get a look inside, see what we did. Ooh, smells good. Oh my gosh. Wow. We're gonna dish up those apples. Get these ribs on the plate, man. They sure look good. We are on the plate. We've got the cornbread, ribs with the apples. Guys, I'm not gonna lie, I've already snuck a taste of this. It is incredible. Got some baked beans, lots of apples. Those apples are delicious. I'm very impressed with how this turned out. Hope you're all doing well. Good eating, everybody.